Hello and welcome to the channel. Today we're going to have a flip through of this rule book from the Two Fat Lardies. This one's called What a Cowboy. Now the Western genre is such a fun part of the tabletop hobby to be gaming in. I did a video a while back about how I painted some cheap dollar store Western figures and I listed a few rule books there. Go and have a look at the video and tell me what you think. This is a new book and it's out in 2023. So it was not listed in that video, so let's look at it now. Let's look inside. The book starts with the inside cover promoting Foundry Miniatures. This is such a great start, I say. I always said that if you want to promote a tabletop miniature game, you need to promote the miniatures. And the folks at Two Fat Lardies understand this simple rule. Well, it's a miniature hobby after all. The book then lets John Savage tell us about the book. The game, it promotes to be simple to learn, difficult to master, and each player brings half a dozen figures aside to the table. We got table of contents, we got the glossary of terms, then we got the basics. To play, very simply, you use dice to keep track of the actions, cards to activate. You have the character record sheet. You have this thing called Desperado cards, which we'll cover a bit later. You choose a scenario and then you're off, you're playing. Now, winning the game is done very wargaming-like. So it's not played until everybody dies, but until the nerve of the next gang, is reached and the gang runs away. So, ride or die, as they would put it. That's the rule for that. And then we have getting started. Now, getting started is pretty much how you use all the different bits. The action dice, what the action dice can do. Then you got the move, where you look at how you move through buildings, crossing obstacles, carrying heavy loads, stairs, pin tokens. You have climbing, jumping, the fall test, all of this stuff, all of the things that you can do or happen in a Western game. It's covered here. You got tasks, simple tasks, difficult tasks. And this, of course, you will probably need either an empire or just between two players, to choose which task is simple, difficult. Or you can, because you need to get the target number to do this task. And then you got the mountain movement, moving through difficult ground, mounting, dismounting. Now, I'm going through the book very, very quickly because I think if you like what you see overall, you should go and get the book. I mean, the rules are simple enough. And then you got the spot rule, which is basically what you can spot, what you can see, which is kind of great because they've got examples, nicely illustrated examples. So you got spotting buildings, spotting in wagons and stuff like that. And then you got aim, which is just a page, and then you have shooting. Of course, after you aim, you shoot. And then you got dodging, stumbling, multiple shot, double barrels, hit effects. You got a table for the hit effects. And then you have what happens when you're out of action, the critical wound table. Moving along, you have falling when wounded, near misses, reloading. Very, very important, reloading. And then you've got the chapter called Aces High. And these are the wild dice. You got your trick shooting. All of these, again, get the rule book. I mean, it's all covered, but you have a chapter on what it is, so you can actually see how important this pretty much is, the the wild dice. Then you got the random event table, always nice to add a little bit of spice to the game. And then you got brawling, different tables for brawling. The brawling rule is quite simple, but I think this is not a hand-to-hand kind of game. This is a shooting kind of game. So when you're brawling, it's that part of the game where you just want to get it done really quick. You got taking prisoners in a brawl. Oh, I must add though, there are all these different examples in the book, little squares, which is kind of nice because it helps you understand what the rule that they're trying to make. Then you got Bonanza. I like this rule, Bonanza rule. What it is, hey, get the book. Then you have the henchmen. These are the important underlings that you have in your game. So you got the rules for the henchmen. You got townsfolk, which is also quite nice. And this means that when you're buying figures, you can actually buy the non-combative figures, which is also also great. You got the townsfolk reaction table, and then you got book 2. So all of that was book 1, and then you got good book 2, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So what this basically is when you drop dice and you build your henchmen. So it's good. It's simple. I want to say that I like this system. It does give a simple, randomness and a variety to each of the gangs that you bring to it. Of course, the more you pay, the better you have, in terms of of quality. And you may have one player who want a lot of legends and one player who'd like a lot of greenhorns. I don't know. We tried a few different combinations with this game, and if anything, this is the point cost to play, I guess. You got skills and traits, and you got equipping characters. You got all this different stuff. You got the dynamite. All of this again adds to the game. Things like the gunsmith. You can actually go in and actually have a look at different guns, and if you're so inclined, you can actually either kit bash or modify your miniature for it. But I like the fact that they went in and described it. Yeah, it's a small thing, but you can tell some heart has gone to the rule set. Then you got sneaky tricks and pesky varmints, which is well, you pay for it. You pay to do all your little your little tricks, I guess. And then you got book 3 for a few dice more, it says, and this is basically the campaign setting, and it helps you it helps you roll if you're thinking of where to play. But again, depending upon the kind of terrain you have, it's kind of great to it's a good addition. But like I said, if you don't have enough terrain or you don't have the right terrain, this might be a bit strange. But why not? I think it's nice. Then you got things like the campaign sequence. You got scenarios: high noon, ambush, rescue, highway robbery, scorched earth, playing at the finale, and if you're playing campaign, of course, the wound recovery table. You can buy reputation. Well, all of this is later, and this is campaign. So let me just say that if the game is simple enough that you probably get a few games in. So if you're playing this game, try to shoot for a campaign. Then you've got new recruits, which is also part of the campaign part. You got the credits and the index, which is kind of great for you to look for rules. And then you've got promotion for Warbases CO UK and Black Sheep Miniatures. Right, so what did I think of it? First off, I think you've got to give a lot of credit to Jim Iddleston. Iddleston, is that his name? Iddleston? Let me see now. Jim Ibbotson. Because the cover art is him, and each of the chapter introduction, chapter headings is his art. Let's have a look. It's his art right there. It's some really nice art. Have a look at that. And I appreciate that. I appreciate they had an artist keep everything unified in terms of art. The art direction is really, really good. They also have some nice pictures. Let's have a look at some of the pictures in here. That was one I really, really like. I like this one over here. It's quite evocative. And then you've got pictures of the miniatures like that. You've got stuff like this. Nice pictures of art. I mean, pictures of the miniatures itself, which is great. You've got pictures of miniatures, and then you've got things like this. Let me see if I can find one very quickly. Yeah, pistol, which is separate art altogether. I'm sure there was a few more. Let me see if I can find it. Another pistol, you know, the knife. Very nice. So whoever was in charge of the art direction of this project, well, kudos. It's very, very nice. It's very, very pretty. The problem I have with the miniature pictures is the fact that they should have credited the figures, where they're from and stuff like that. They did credit, you know, the figures where they're, you know, our thanks to so and so and so, but, you know, pointing the figure to where they're from helps, because if there's a figure I like, I can go and get it, and if the company sells more figures, they probably make more figures. It's definitely a win and a win. The other thing I liked about this rulebook is the Bonanza. What was it? Bonanza. I like this rule. I'm not gonna talk too much about it. The Bonanza part of the book is fantastic. It's great because it keeps the players at the table, because as long as players have Bonanza tokens, they can do things with it, you know, out of turn. So that keeps the table busy, you know, which is something I quite like. The thing I didn't like was the Desperado cards. Let me see if I can show you a sample of Desperado cards. It's in the early bit. Right, these are the Desperado cards. It actually adds a little bit to the game, but the demo games that we played didn't use Desperado cards. So if you like, you can actually not play with the Desperado cards. But well, if you want to squeeze as much joy as you want from this set, get the Desperado cards. I just wish they pile it together, so you buy the rulebook and you get the Desperado cards, you know, quite well free, you know. The few demo games I played was under an hour, which is a perfect game, you know, to have when the main game for the weekend is done early and you're itching to play a really quick game. Yeah, under an hour, you can definitely play this in under an hour. So yes, I would highly recommend What a Cowboy. It's a really nice book, very pretty book. Definitely recommend it. Yes, Two Fat Lardies. Now, if you enjoyed this review, give us a like and a subscribe. And of course, don't forget to enjoy painting those figures.